Hey everyone, welcome to our midweek recap. So I wanted to do this midweek recap because I realized that a lot of people are kind of struggling right now, and instead of disappearing on you guys, I wanted to be here to, help you with what you're struggling with and try to find ways that you can improve. Because if you're managing your risk properly, you shouldn't really be down too much. So that's what I want to focus on today is let's look at some of the mistakes that some of you are making and let's work on making them better. All right. Let me just double check this audio here and make sure we're good. Okay, we are good. So we have 17 people here. So hi Gonzi, hi Daniel, hi Matthew, hi Daniel again, and Abby. Welcome. All right. So and hi Todd. So what I want to do is I want to talk about just a basic outlook on futures, what's going on. Hi L North, hi Travis, and I want to talk to you guys about how you can be safe in the market. I want to look at some swing trades, and then I want you guys to post what's been going on. Like, what are you worried about? What's happening? What are some of the trades you've taken? Are you trapped in a few things? Like, are you bag holding something? Some people have messaged me and told me that they didn't have a stop loss and now they're left with the bag. So whatever is going on, feel free to post it. I want to just go through everything and give you guys the tips that I have from my years of trading to try to help you with the issues that you're facing. Because I've done all of those things. I've bag held, I've traded without stop loss. I've done dumb things. So I want to share my experience and help you guys. All right. Hi, Tosif. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of the fibs and we're going to start from the beginning. And I just want this to be very educational and help you guys up. Okay. So whenever we're doing analysis on the market, we have to start with futures because futures is basically what's happening behind the scenes. That's the easiest way to look at it, right? So when we look at futures, we always need to start off with the Sunday open. Where did we open on Sunday night? And then from there we have to make some educated assumptions of what's likely to happen, right? So this is the range from last week, right? So let's go to the weekly chart. So here was the range from last week. Okay, this is the last week's candle. Okay, and like I mentioned last week, once we start coming down to this 20 EMA, we usually have a lot of buying, and we did, right? So now we have the range from last week. We opened on Sunday, and we have to ask ourselves, first question, where are we opening? Okay, well, we're opening inside of the range, right? You see that, here's the range. We're opening inside of the range. So what does that mean? Well, that means that there's no immediate winner in the market. The buyers are not in full control and the sellers are not in full control. And if you look at this chart, right, we can clearly see selling, buying, selling, buying. We can see that it's not one directional. And that is because of the fact that we opened within the previous week's range. So there are shorts that are still up here that have been shorting here and here and here. There are bulls that are down here that have been buying these dips. Okay. So the first thing that I always do is I take the Fibonacci of the range like this. Okay. Fibonacci of the range. And what I'm keeping my eye on is the 50, 618. This is the first area of usually we have a lot of reaction, right? Because this is where the robots usually are programmed to buy at. And we can see here, guys, we came down pretty much almost at the 618. We could see that the algos front ran it a little bit. But look right here at the 618, we had this beautiful hammer, right? So we had a very beautiful hammer bar, and that has been the low of the week so far. So far, when I'm looking at this, I don't really see too much difficulty for the futures, right? We knew that we opened inside and we had the fibs, right? So these are all the things that I lay out in the pre-market plan on Sunday, right? So we knew that we could pull in here. So this is a healthy pullback because anybody down here is adding to their position right here. Okay, so we have this. Now this is being traded. So who looks like they're in control right now? That's the question. Feel free to post some stuff in the chat there. I want this to be interactive, right? Who really looks like they're in control? Well, we can clearly see the bulls are making higher lows, right? They're making higher lows and higher highs. So far they're in control, okay? But we are up against last week's high. So this area has been a major resistance, okay? This area has been a very major resistance. It's not gonna go down without a fight, okay? So this is why we already have selling happening up here. It's not gonna go down without a fight. So now the question is, if the bulls can squeeze through the previous week's high, then they can take full control. But until we break through the previous week's high, any short sellers that shorted here or here or here and made money, they're looking at this as a potential double top opportunity, right? They're looking at that as a potential double top, okay? So the first thing that we had was a 618. And now I'm going to show you guys something very special, okay? So pay attention. All right. So we had the 618 of the week, okay? So now what do we have in terms of the smaller Fibonacci legs? What do we have? Okay, let's look at them together. So this is the pivot here, right? And we made a very impulsive push up. Okay, we can see that. And this broke new highs. So this is called an impulsive leg. This is what I talk about in my book, impulsive leg, okay? So we have an impulsive leg. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw the Fibonacci from the low to the high. And I wanna show you guys something very special, okay? So we have this first impulsive leg, low to high. We pull back right to the 786. So this is a normal leg, right? Pull back to the 786. Algos are in, they're in. Their stop loss is down here, right? The limit order, stop loss down here. They take this, they run it up exactly to the 272 extension. See that? That's why we roll over, because this is what we call the algos dumping their positions, okay? So the algorithm purchased here and they sold over here. They probably made between 10 to 20 times their money on this position, okay? So this is why I want you to learn the fibs so that you can have these levels on your chart. So for example, if you're day trading, you need to have these levels in the back of your mind, right? You need to have these levels in the back of your mind because look how well they work, right? So now the question is, are the algorithms that purchased this higher low, are they done? Did they have enough? Like, did they make enough money for the week? Are they going to throw in the towel and then let all the retail people get stuck with the bag, right? And that's that could be a big possibility, right? Because these guys already made, the algorithms already made their money, so they don't care about you. They really don't. And this is the power of futures, is being able to take these plays. Look, this is right after the close yesterday. This is when this move happens, right? The majority of this move happens after the close. And if you trade futures long enough, you'll start to see a pattern where the stock market gets run up in the overnight session, in the morning session, before regular trading hours even opens, right? And don't get left with the bag, right? The other thing that I want to talk about is, let's just look at some of these inside bars. So we knew, so let's keep the fib. So we knew that this inside bar was sitting on a major Fibonacci. So could we have went long here? Could we have went long here knowing that this is at a major Fibonacci support? Could we? What about over here as well? We also knew that this was holding the 618. Could we have went long here? What do you guys think? Chris says it's a guessing game whether it's a 5618 or 778. It's not a guessing game. It's not. Because as a professional, what you want to do is you want to average into your position, right? You should have orders on the 50, 618, and 786. That's what a professional does. But if you want to do a simple approach, then I would always use a 618. Always. If you just want to choose one, I would always choose a 618. 618 is a magical number. It comes from nature. It's the golden ratio. Robots are programmed using these simple mathematical formulas. That's why we see the 618 always in play. So yes, So we definitely could have taken these inside bars. Look, we could have taken this one. We could have taken this one. We could have even taken this one because this one was coming into the open as well. This was 8 o'clock, right? So let's just say, let's just say we take this inside bar back here, right? Okay, put a stop down here. And then we sell at the extension like we talked about, okay? Like that. That's, even if you're just trailing, let's say you trail up to this candle, that's good for about 3.5 times your money. All right, so that's good money, guys. If you put in $1,000, that's $3,500 in 1 week. That's good money. That's good enough. You don't need more than that every week. But what I'm trying to show you guys here is use the fibs on the higher time frames and then look at the inside bars and try to find some confluence and some alignment, and then use that to take great trades, right? So that's why I don't understand why most people are in such a bad spot. And I could feel it in the market. Like I could see it with my followers and everybody that, like, my public Twitter, that a lot of people they're either disappeared or they're very, negative. But I still see a lot of opportunities. And what that tells me is that either people are not following their stop losses, like they're not taking their losses when they need to, or they don't have a plan and they're just listening to random people on Twitter. But, everybody that's in my private swing room that have done the trades that I've done so far in March are up money. So that's the point, is that even if the market is down or if it's volatile, you can still make money, but you need to have a plan. So that's my question to you guys today, is how much of you have a trading plan that are here today with me? How much of you can tell me, hey, Rich, this is my setup. This is where my stop loss is. This is my entry and my target. How much of you can say that? Todd says, the problem I have is that I'm so afraid of losing money that I move my stop to break even too soon and get taken out. And that's a very common problem with new traders, Todd. So it's just a part of the game. You have to start looking at trading as a business, right? You can't look at it like it's your money and you got to get to break even. You can't look at it like that, right? You got to look at it like, if I lose, it's a cost of doing business. So I need to lose. So I see some of you say you can't say, right? So let me show you the swing trades that I took this week, right? And then we'll talk about a plan, and I'll show you guys some ways that I deal with the market. You got to be able to take some losses. Yeah, exactly, Ken. I keep my stops too tight, Daniel. Yep, because most people have, like, what I'm seeing is most people have a fear of losing money, right? Most people have fear of losing money. You have to get over that hump, right? Trading is you have to lose money to make money in trading. You have to understand that, right? So far for March, I've only taken 4 swing trades. 2 of them have already hit targets, and then 2 of them are still pending. So I just want to show you guys, like, how my plans are. Okay, so when I looked at the market last week, there was a big sell-off in tech, right? We all can agree that tech got dumpstered, right? So I know I've been talking about this in my YouTube videos. I'm not sure how much of you had time to watch, but let's talk about sector rotation, okay? So have a stop, but then when I remove from the bots, trying to see if I can just beat the bot from stopping me out. That, like, the only scared money don't make money. Yep. Yeah, guys, if you're struggling with your stops and, like, you're moving them and you're getting break even, or whatever, just do this for me. Don't ever move your stop loss for now. So cut your shares in half or your contracts in half. So whatever you're doing right now, cut the size in half. Okay, so if you're buying 100 shares, buy 50 shares. If you're buying 2 contracts, buy 1 contract. Cut whatever you're doing in half and do not move your stop loss. I want you to get in the habit of not moving your stop loss. Okay? How do you guys think I move my stop loss? What do you guys think my rules are? What do you guys think? I'm gonna share one of my personal rules. When do you guys think I move my stop loss? 2R. Yep, pretty much, right? So I have specific rules of when I can move my stop loss. I can't move it because I feel that way. You know what I mean, guys? I have testing. See if I can. Let me show you guys some stuff, right? Like these spreadsheets here are my test. Okay. This is my back test that I do. I have notes. Look at all this work that I put in here. Okay. I have results. And through the back testing, I'm able to determine when it's optimal to move my stop loss. Does that make sense? So I don't move my stop loss because I feel a certain way. I move my stop loss when the data tells me to move it. Does that make sense to you guys? So I look back at all of the trades within my systems and I say, okay, when is the optimal time to move my stop? Right? And I let the data tell me that. The more you can get away from emotions and rely on data, the better. All right. So what I've come to the conclusion, let's go back to this as an example. Okay. So let's say we took this inside bar together. So what I found is when I get to 2, okay, where's 2? Right around here. So when I get to double my money, I can move my stop loss to break even. Okay. Until I get to double my money, I can't because I'm not giving it enough room to move away from my entry. So let's just look at this together, okay? So some of you are probably doing this right now. So you enter the trade here, it gets up to right here. So you're like at 0, you're at 0.5 times your risk, and then you move your stop loss to break even like this right away because you get emotional. And then the next candle comes and stops you out at break even, right? Is that pretty accurate of what some of you guys are doing? As soon as you're up a little bit, you move it to break even because you feel kind of emotional. And then, but what I'm suggesting, right, is only when this thing gets to 2 times, then we can move the stop loss to break even like this, because now we're far enough away. All right. So that's a pro hack right there. All right. I'm telling you guys the stuff that is from my own back testing. Okay. I have the data. I don't tell you guys stuff based on like what I think. I tell you guys based on what the facts are. Because I do this trading thing full time. Right. So here's another thing that I found. So sometimes in the past, when I got to 1 times my risk, which is right here. Okay, so this is 1. Okay, 1 is right here. Let's just say that's 1. Okay, so let's say I risk $1,000 on this inside bar, and then when it got up here, I made $1,000. So I also found if it's at 1R, I still can't move my stop loss to break even. Why? Because look at this right here. You see? Do you guys see how the market is? If when we got to 1R, I move my stop to break even, this wick right here, that wick on this candle would have came and touched my stop loss at break even. And imagine how pissed off I would have been. All right? Because usually what happens in the market, guys, is the market retests. Right? The market retests. So when it retests, then if your stop is too tight, you're going to get stopped out, and then it's going to run without you like this. It's going to run without you. So that's why I made the rule. When we get to 2, then I could put the stop loss to break even. Does that make sense? Because when we get to 2, I'm far enough away from my entry that it shouldn't come back. And if it does come back to my entry, it's likely going to stop me out. So I might as well put my stop loss to break even. Okay. So that's a general tip that you guys, so what you guys can do is all of your trades. Remember the last time we spoke about tracking your trades in a journal, right? So after you have, let's say 20 or 30 trades, I want you to go back through your trades. And then I want you to say, well, when am I actually allowed to move my stop loss? Like go through them and see, well, if I move my stop loss when this happened, I would have made this money or I would have lost this money. And then I want you to kind of write down your rules. That's the right way. Okay, guys, let's do things the right way. Yeah, the inside bar today just kept stopping out. Yep, inside bar was hard today, guys. It's not going to be easy every day, guys. It's not going to be easy. If it was going to be easy every day, then we wouldn't be here right now. 2 times a stop and how much you raise it. So when you get to 2 times your stop, you should go to break even for sure. Okay. So let's go to TD and let's talk about this trade. Okay. So you guys know, right? You guys come to Sunday Stock Talk and I always talk about the inside bars, right? So you guys know that. So these setups shouldn't be new to you, what I do. They shouldn't be new to you because as long as you come to the Sunday Stock Talk, I teach you guys these things for free. I don't ask for anything. Okay, so let me explain to you about sector rotation. Let's talk about that. What about a trailing stop loss? Yeah, so trailing stop loss, yeah, so that depends on, so like what I do, that's a good question, Gonzi. So for trailing stop, right, I've learned that if we have big candles, like big bullish candles in your favor, for example, like big bullish candles, then if you want to trail, you want to trail below the big candles because the big candles have a lot of volume, right? So example, as a trailing stop here, so what we could do is, okay, we got to break even, and then when this big candle comes here, I can put my trailing stop right here. I can trail right here on this candle because look at this, is a big powerful candle. This candle shouldn't go. Then I can trail here, I can trail here, and then when we get here, you see this pattern here, guys? This is called a tweezer top pattern, right? This is a tweezer top. That means that these highs are the exact same, and that's why this candle comes in dark green. So what you can say is, okay, if I see a tweezer, I'm going to trail below the low of the tweezer, and then you see how it takes you out right here. So then you would have trailed it perfectly, right? So trailing stop loss is like art. So you have to have certain rules. So for me, if I want to trail something, it has to be after big, massive candles in my favor because that's where the volume is, or specific patterns like tweezer tops, or, you know, like something, or like an inverted hammer, like over here, this is a reversal sign, right? Things like that. Does that make sense? So let me know if that trailing stop makes sense for you guys, because that might help you guys too. Is when you have price action patterns in your favor, you can use that to help your trailing stop. So for example, engulfing bars, big body candles, tweezer patterns, right? You can use those to give you signals of, okay, now I need to move my trailing stop up. All right, so let me know in the comments there if you guys have any questions about that. Okay. All right. So what I want to talk about today is about sector rotation and cash rotation in the market. And then I want to discuss that with you guys. Okay. So what we can see, so here's NQ. So I have NQ here because I wanted to spend some time talking about NQ. So normally NQ, right, which is the NASDAQ, it represents the tech sector, right? So normally in the tech sector, for, you know, basically years and years, the tech sector has been leading the market, right? So the tech sector has been making, you know, higher highs continuously, even surpassing the S&P 500. But then let's just look at this week though. Okay, let's look at this week. So notice how the S&P 500, we're at the closer to the upper end of last week's range. We're ready to break out of last week's range. But if we look at NQ is not even halfway there. Okay. So this is the clue of sector rotation, because other sectors within the S&P 500 are getting more money than tech. More money is being flooded into them than tech, because tech is lagging. You can see that it's lagging, right? Look at this chart on tech and compare this to futures. You see how futures is The S&P 500 is more bullish. So when that happens, we have to also move with the market, right? It doesn't make sense for us to be trying to buy tech at all-time highs or trying to expect that tech is going to blow up, because the money, we can clearly see it's rotating out. So that's why this week in the swing trading room, I did TD and MasterCard. Because if we look at the TD chart, do we see how TD is at new all-time highs? Okay, and let's look at MasterCard. MasterCard is at new all-time highs. So we can clearly see the financial services sector is the strongest right now, because these are at all-time highs. Whereas NQ is lagging. It's nowhere near its all-time highs. And ES is still trying to get there, which is back up here. So does that make sense, guys? So that's how I'm able to identify sector rotation. So on the weekend, when I do my scans and I do my analysis and I'm looking for stocks that I want to swing in the coming week, I ask myself, which sector is still making new highs? That's how I identify where the money is going. So does that make sense? So on the weekend, we have to do some homework as traders, look at the sectors, right? And we have to see which ones are making new all-time highs, or at least which ones are relatively strong. That gives us confidence. All right. So let me break down the TD and MasterCard trade. Okay. So we knew that TD was very strong sector, right, in the financial services. And we want to get into a trade. So how do we get into a trade? Well, you guys know that I like swing trading inside bars with potential short squeezes. So when I got to the TD chart, I noticed we had an inside bar. And I noticed we had this big selling wick from the previous week. So that's why I took this trade. The entry was 62.82, stop was 61.90. And what I did with TD is I have a scaling out approach that I use. But if you see financials at all-time high, are you willing? Yes, I am willing, because look, I made money doing it, right? I made money doing it. So what I did here was 1-to-1 is the first scale out, and then 1.25, 1.5, 1.75, and so on. Okay. So right now where I'm in TD, I've locked in 80% of my position, and now my stop loss is at break even. See that, guys? So you should still be able to make money in the market if you're playing the right sectors. And you need to be able, the way you identify the right sectors is through looking where the cash is rotating to, right? So here's the same thing on MasterCard. I did the exact same thing, okay? Same thing. So far for March, I made money on TD and MasterCard. I have another swing trade on Disney and Coca-Cola, and those are kind of just consolidating right now. So we'll see how those play out. But if you guys notice, right, my TD and my MasterCard, I made more than 1 times my risk, right? I made more than 1 times my risk. So that means even if I lose the other 2 trades, I'll still walk away with some profits. So that's what I need you guys to be doing as well. When you win, make sure it's more than your losers. So let's say I win $1,000 on the trade. Well, my loser can't be 1,000 as well, or it can't be more than 1,000, because then I'm not going to make any money. So as an example, if I walk away with, let's say, 1,500 on TD and I lose $1,000 on Disney, I'm still going to make money. That's the way you got to look at the market. All right. How do you pick your stops? Well, my stops are, I use a lot of things. I go to the daily chart. I look at the Fibonacci. I look at key pivots. I have many things that I use for the stop. So every time I open a new swing trade, I look in detail to determine my stop loss. Do you use the same amount of capital on all your trades? Yes. So that's a good question from Hasham. Every trade for me has the same risk. I don't treat any trade better than the other, or more special than the other, because I don't know which one's going to win. So let's say every single trade, I'm willing to lose $1,000 maximum, right? So that's how I stay alive, because I don't lose 10,000 instead of 1,000. You know what I mean? I always keep my risk where it needs to be. When you say you swing, is that within 2 days or 5 days? So as an example for TD, we got into the trade on Monday and then we hit first targets on Tuesday, and now we still have a little bit on, and that can go on for, you know, however long it wants to. But we've already paid ourselves. Some trades last, you know, 3-4 days. Some trades last a lot longer. Depends. Really depends on the market, depends on, you know, the sector and all those type of stuff. All right. So what are we talking about here? So what are the biggest issues that you guys are facing? Type them in the chat and let me help you with where I can. Okay. What I'm trying to show you guys here is just, you need to have a plan. Okay. That's what I'm trying to show you. Have a plan. Have a plan and have proper risk management. If you have a plan and you have proper risk management and the market crashes, it's not going to be a big deal. It's not going to be a big deal because you should have already rotated into other sectors. You should have hedges on, or you should have, even if you're losing small, right? So tell me, what are the biggest struggles that you guys are facing? And I'm going to give you some opinions and some advice to try to help you guys out. You know, my main purpose, guys, I want to help. You know, I could be laying down in bed right now, but I want to help. So, and I found that a lot of people that like on my free channel, they've disappeared, and that makes me worried, you know, because I hope that they didn't lose all of their money and they've given up. Picking stops and when to cut positions. Can you walk us through daily setup? Like today, you mentioned a few tickers inside bar. Okay. So what was the big one? I think it was, I'm going to have to double check. It was, so let's go through a few of the names. Okay. Let's do them together. So let's start off with these. So I want to give you guys some examples of how you can trade these. So let's look at Riot. Okay. So Riot, okay. So let's start together from the daily chart. Okay. So this is how it works. So last night I posted Riot. Okay. So I want to show you guys how to trade it. Okay. So last night I posted Riot, and this is how the chart looked at the time. Okay. So if we're looking at this chart together, what do we see? What do we see? Just throw some things out there. We're looking at this chart together. What do you see? Learn and win. Appreciate your commitment. Thank you very much, brother. Long-term investments have been painful to watch. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, Ken. Very true. That's why if your investment is actually really long-term, you shouldn't even watch it. Right? Okay, we had downtrend, inside bar, 6 red days. Good. Very good. Very, very good. You guys know this stuff. Okay. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red days, right? And we had an inside bar, and we had the mother bar of the inside bar is a hammer, right? So everything is pointing to potentially bullish. We have a hammer bar with an inside bar after it. We have so many red days. So let me ask you guys a quick question. If we look back, just look back at this chart. How many consecutive red days do you see before we have a bounce? We had one here, 1, 2, 3, 4 red days, 2, 2, 3. So usually between 3 to 4 red days, there's usually going to be a bounce, right? That's just simple. We can just look at the chart and say, okay, we had a lot of selling. Looks like a bounce is going to come. And then we have the inside bar. Okay. So all we have to do is let's hit replay. Okay. I hope it works this time. Okay, it's working. Let's go to 5-minute chart. Okay. So first candle. That's the first candle of the day right there. Okay. Here is the previous day's high. Okay. So you can see that we're gapping above. We're gapping above the previous day's high. So is that a bullish or is that a bearish signal? Hi, Rizwan. Welcome. If we gap above the previous day's high, is that a bullish or is that a bearish signal? What do you guys think? Bullish. Yeah. Because if you shorted here, okay, if you shorted Riot right here at the previous day's high, then how would you feel when this happens the next day? You're going to feel trapped. Okay. So as a day trader, we come into this chart, we see that the bears are trapped, and then we apply strategies, right? So let me go here. Let me go to Trading War Scanner. Okay. So right here, guys, in my pinned tweet, these are all of the strategies. I made these all for free. Opening range breakout, inside bars, Fibonacci legs, reversal, and then here's basic trading course on candlesticks. Okay? And let me tell you something. Nobody on Twitter will do this for you. Each one of these will be $1,000 course for you guys. That's what they try to do to me. Each one of these are $1,000, and then the total package is 5,000. Right here, it's free. All right, so follow my scanner wars if you haven't followed it already. It only has 277 followers. Okay, so what can we do? What strategy do you guys want to use here? Like, what do you think? What do you think we can use now? So first 5-minute bar closed, right? We know the bears are trapped. What strategies can we use here? What do you guys think? What are some strategies we can use together to day trade this? What are the options? What do we have? What do we have available? Bedtime for me. Thank you, Rich. You're an amazing human being. Thank you, Todd. You can always watch the recording after. Thanks for being here. If you bracketed the IB candle because it gapped up, your order wouldn't have triggered. Correct. Yep, correct. That's correct, Hisham. So what can we do then? Orb. Oh, we got a lot of orbs in here. All right, let's do the orb. Okay, let's do the orb. Come in here. We're going to go long right there. Stop on the low like that. Let's hit play. Okay, we're good. Okay, we've already hit 1 times our money. Have we? No, we haven't hit 1 times our money yet. So let's keep playing. Okay, there we go. All right. So we took the orb. Okay, this bar is at 1.8. So let's just do something simple right now. Okay, let's just say you're going to take everything off at, let's say you're going to take off 80% of your shares at 2 times your risk. Okay, so right here, and then you're going to put the stop loss to break even on the rest. Okay, so we're going to go again. We're going to go, we're following the rules, right? We're not going to move the stop yet until we hit 2. Okay, there it is. So here's your 2. Now the stop goes to break even like this. And then the rest of it, we just let it play out until the end of the day. Okay, so we'll just let it play out. Okay. All right. So let's do that. Let's look at this again. So we hit 2 times our risk. Okay. And then up here, this is about, at the close, that's about 3 times the risk. Okay. So now let me show you guys how to actually like put in the shares. Okay. So we wanted to go long there, like we said. Stop loss right there. Okay. So I'm going to click on Tradingview and I'm going to say, it says here risk. I'm going to put in $1,000. Okay. I want to risk $1,000. Okay. So I want to risk $1,000. So it's telling me I need to buy 552 shares. Okay. So how I set up the order. So right when this 5-minute bar closes, I'm going to say buy. I'm going to say buy 552 shares, stop limit 45.60. Okay. So 45.60 is going to be the stop. And then I'll add 2 cents to the limit, 45.62. Okay. And then the stop price is 43.79. And then my profit target, I'm going to move this up to 2 first. Okay. It's so hard to get the exact there. So this is my target. So I'm going to put this, all of this, I'm going to put this into my broker. Okay. Entry, 552, stop, profit level, right? So then when we get to 49.72, we've made $2,000. Does that make sense? So we got to 2, we locked in, let's say we lock in 80%. So let's say we lock in $1,800, and then we move the stop loss to break even to protect us like this. Okay. And then what we can do is at the end of the day, we can, let's say we have another $400 in profit. Then we can decide, okay, with that extra $400 in profit that I have, do I want to continue to swing trade this into the future? Okay. Do I want to swing trade this into the future, or do I want to get out of everything at the end of the day? So that one is up to you. It depends. Like, for example, in Riot, if this is a company that you don't mind holding, then that's a great way to hold it, because you've already made money on it. So then you can just let your paper profits be your risk. And then you always keep your stop loss at break even for the rest of the position. All right. Does that make sense? Let me know if that's helpful, guys. I don't think anyone breaks it down like that. I wish they did. So let me know, does that help you guys? Does that make sense? Like, you can be an opening range breakout trader, I give you the picks, guys. I give you the picks. I do the work for you. All you have to do is come to the market with humbleness and execute the trading plans and just rinse and repeat every single day. So very helpful. Good. So let me ask you a quick question. Pop quiz. So if we made $2,000 on this trade, right? So now out of 100 trades, let's say this is what you're going to do. You're going to do 100 opening range breakout trades, and you're going to use my top picks. Okay. You're going to do 100 of those. If you get 2 times your risk, how many out of 100 trades do you need to win? That's a pop quiz. So let me repeat that. If you take 100 opening range breakout trades just like this one, right? And you're going to get on average 2 times your risk, how many do you need to win out of 100? So Hasham has it right. So 34%. 50% is wrong, because you're making double your loser. You're making double. You don't need to be 50% to break even. You don't need to be half. You see, guys, this is where your thinking is wrong, because maybe you've learned the wrong way, right? If you're going for 1-to-1, then you need to be 50%. We're not going for 1-to-1. We're going for double. So we only need to win 34 out of 100 trades. And it's funny that we have only 34 viewers right now. So that's a sign for me, guys. So I want you guys to write that down on a piece of paper. Okay? 34. Okay? So what I'm going to do here, let me open up my book. Okay? And let's look at the risk table again. I want you guys to take a screenshot of this, or like just write this down. I'm not going to charge you for this, because this is more important than anything else. So let's go and find my risk management table. I have a lot of stuff in this book, mostly fibs, but I have a whole section on profit taking and risk and all that. So I want you guys to, where the hell is this thing? Here we go. Okay. This. If there's one thing that you could like print out or take a screenshot of or write down, this is what I want you to write down. Okay. So if we're making double our loser, we only need to win 34 out of 100. If we're making 3 times our loser, we only need to win 26 out of 100. Look at that. Let me ask you guys a question. If we had went for 3 times on that trade, would we have gotten 3 times? What do you guys think? Yes or no? Let's go back to the trade. What was the maximum we could have gotten out of this thing? Oh, okay, 4.6. Wow, that's eye-opening, isn't it? So now let's go to the table. And so now if we got 4, right, we only need to win 21 out of 100 trades. So if I'm hanging out with you guys here, we're all friends, and I say, hey, can you do 21 out of 100? You guys think you can do 21 out of 100? What do you guys think? You think you can do 21 out of 100? How many of you are confident that you can win 21 out of 100 trades? I want to see the yeses and nos. How many of you are confident that you can win 21 out of 100 trades if I say, hey, you're going to trade the next 100 opening range breakout? So we have mostly yes, we have some no's. So let me ask a good question now. So why don't we do it? So learn and win is on to something, emotional pressure. I can, but I might not have the guts to wait. I love this. You see, guys, this is the truth. This is what we face as traders, right? And then Chris says he can't day trade stocks. So see, there's so many hurdles, right? And here's the trick. 95% of traders will not even trade 100 trades in the opening range breakout. They won't do it. You know why? Because after they lose one time, they quit. Do you guys understand? That's the biggest problem in trading. The biggest problem in trading is that no one has commitment. No one has discipline. No one has focus. Everybody wants to make money yesterday. And after one bad trade, I'm done. I quit, man. That's what most people do. Oh, and then they read on Twitter or they read on Reddit that some guy did one trade and made $1 million, and now they want to go do that. And those same people will come back 1 month later with nothing left in their bank account. Because those people out there they're pushing propaganda because they just want to take your money, right? So remember this. If you don't have capital, you can't trade. Okay? So the first and foremost responsibility is to protect your money, right? Yeah, so I see a lot of emotional comments, right? And that's it, guys. That's a lot of us, our biggest enemies ourselves, in trading. It really is. The setups are not complicated. It's just that we are our own enemy, because when it comes to dollars, we get emotional, right? What are the signs that the orb might fail? Let's go back to this. So the reason why the opening range breakout in this particular trade is a very good one is because we open above the previous day's high. Do you guys see that? Do you guys see how I analyze and I try to say, does the opening range breakout make sense? I don't take it every single situation. It needs to make sense. There must be somebody that's trapped, right? So last Wednesday and Thursday, I did a seminar. Some of you were there, and I went through how, everything about this, how I use the scanner. I gave away my scanner and how I pick stocks and all that. And I talked about everything in detail. If you guys are struggling still and you want me to, if you want the recording or whatever, and just DM me and we'll talk about working something out if you need help. But I'm giving it to you for free right here. Okay. But if you want extra help, if you want one-on-one or whatever, I'd have the recordings, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them, because I'm not sure, if I want to sell, how I want to promote it and all that. I don't really care anymore, to be honest. I'm happy with like what I'm doing right now. I'm happy with my swing trading room and the results that I'm getting in there. I have over 100 people subscribe with me in my swing trading room. I'm making good money from the market. I'm making good money in my rooms, and the people in my rooms are making money. And like, I'm just content. I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to go chase things. I don't want to force things, you know? So sometimes you have to, that's the same thing with trading, guys. That mindset that I have, it's like, oh, okay, I have 2R. All right, I'm going to take more majority. I'm going to put my stop to break even. Like those things, guys, you need to get used to, because most traders, what they're going to do instead is like, I have 2R, but I want 5. I want 10. I want a home run because I lost yesterday, so I need to make it up. If those thoughts are going through your head, then you know you have a problem. Yeah, let's read some of these questions. Question here. Sometimes 5-minute bar is outside BB and it doesn't work perfectly, like here in Riot. What should be strategy if we want to play safe? What do you mean it didn't work properly? What does that mean? We took the opening range breakout right here and we made money. So I'm not sure what your question is. How do you set up 10 different entries at the open quick enough to capture the candles needed? So there's something called hotkeys, right? So if you're really day trading, like, you know, like for living, and you're very, very serious, just watch some videos on hotkeys. I have a lot of my traders that use hotkeys. Like you can press one button on your keyboard and you can get filled, right? So literally, like from my list, right? Let's say I have 10 stocks. In the morning, I'll trim it down to maybe 3 or 4, like Riot, for example, because I know it's gapping above the previous day's high. And then once I get the signal, I can hit the hotkey. See what I'm saying, guys? It was hard to take a loss, but now I got better at it. When trend go against me, cut them quick, and that's making account grow. Exactly. Yep. When you're wrong, you're wrong. You know, you should take your losers as happily as you take your winners, because if you don't take your losers, then you can actually end up in a bag holding phase, and then you can actually lose your account. Rich, if you set 2R for this trade, do you close it? So what I do is, for these trades, I take off the majority, like I take off 80% of my position at around 2R. Okay, I take 80% off, but for me, I always leave a little bit into the close. Okay, because I want to ideally be able to swing trade some of these positions with the little bit that I have left, because those can become huge, 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 huge winners, right? Like when I did the seminar, I did an example of Facebook that I traded Facebook, right? We had a Fibonacci play. So I took the Fibonacci play on Facebook. It was the same thing, inside bar, blah, blah, blah. I took a Fibonacci. I closed 80% for 2R, right? And then I swing traded it. And guess what? The last 20% that I had on Facebook, it actually went all the way up to like 10 or 15R. See what I mean? So that's why I like swing trading it. Because price outside BB will retrace. So in case if price retraces back, in this case, should we look for ABCD pattern or something? Honestly, to see if I trade very simply. Like I have my own strategies. I don't look at ABCD element of P and stuff like that. I have my own strategies. So these ones right here, these are ones that I use. So just watch these videos. You'll understand how I trade. My style is my style, right? It's different than a lot of people you see on Twitter, because I try to do what actually makes me money every day, right? Some people, I'm going to be honest, and I know some people that actually don't trade, but they post all of these charts and all this analysis, but they don't trade. Trading is very different than doing analysis. You need to have something very simple when you're trading so you can do it every single day. See, like when I'm reading your question, Tasif, I'm confused and you're confused. You are confused and I am confused, because you're talking about Bollinger Band, you're talking about ABCD. You see what I mean? That's why those type of things, they don't make sense when it comes to day trading, because it's too difficult for someone to quickly make an analysis and execute. So let me give you an example. Do we all understand what opening range breakout means? Can we all trade opening range breakout? What do you guys think? If I were to tell you this, there's two strategies. One strategy is ABCD pattern outside Bollinger Band, and then one strategy is opening range breakout. Let's say the ABCD pattern strategy has a higher win rate and it makes a little bit more money than the opening range breakout. Which one would you choose? And tell me why. Tell me what you guys think. No, this is a good question, Steve. Don't be sorry about it. It's great because many people go through the same thing, because you see from a lot of people in the industry, they try to overcomplicate things because they want you to feel like if you're wrong, it's your fault. Right? Many people in the industry, they overcomplicate trading because they don't want to be wrong. So if it is wrong, they're going to change the analysis on you. And then they're going to blame you and say it's your fault. This is what we call a cult. Okay. So I studied in my elective in university. I studied psychology. And one of the things about cults is that the cult leader will always like leave things kind of mysterious and ambiguous. And you guys know there's a lot of people like that, right? And they if someone like goes against it, they blame that person. Like, oh no, it's not the philosophy, it's you. So I see most people saying orb. It's simple, right? So one factor is we have to do a strategy that is simple to execute. Can you trade options with orb? Yes, you can. You can trade anything with orb. You can do shares, you can do options, you can do futures. It's just a pattern. Orb I tried in the past, but I was not able to use it in real time. It was difficult. So because like you guys see how I use the orb, right? I'm using the orb very simply. It has to be an inside day close first. Okay. So, and I need to see a good gap. Inside day first with a good gap. Those are my precursors to using the orb. You don't use orb every single day. If you use orb every single day, you ain't going to make money. You have to use orb when you have the right situation. Okay, so how do you filter the picks from the scanners and the picks in the best? So the most important thing is like just what I did with you guys right now. I look if we're gapping. You see how Riot gapped up above the previous day's high? Then that means there's likely to be momentum. So that's what I look for. Right? I look for a trigger. So I want to see early momentum through a gap, and then I'm going to use the opening range breakout. David, can we review today's orb with BA? It closed with inside candle yesterday. I assumed a short, but worked out as a long. How can you identify the right entry? Not true for futures? No, it's the same thing for futures. If we have a gap, I'll use an opening range breakout. Same exact thing for futures. It's a pattern, guys. It's a pattern. What we're trying to look at is who's trapped. If you can find somebody trapped shorts, trapped longs, the opening range breakout is going to work well. Okay. You need a gap up or below previous day high low. Exactly. That's the main factor that I'm looking for. Right? Let's look at BA. Go to the daily chart. So I already see some problems with this. So here was the inside day from yesterday. Okay, let's hit the replay like that. Let's go to 5 minute. Okay, let's play the first candle. See that? You see how the first candle is not gapping anywhere? It's within the previous day's range. You guys see that? The first candle is not gapping below the low or above the high. So I am not going to consider this opening range breakout play. Does that make sense? So opening range breakout is not valid. So if you guys watch my YouTube video, I explain all of that right here. So watch this video. I talk about when I use it and when I don't use it. It's actually more important to know when not to use a strategy than when to use it. You know what I'm saying? Just need to gap up. It doesn't need to be, no, it doesn't need, for futures, I have my own strategies. Like I think Chris, I think we're in a part of my programs, right? I can't remember, but I have specific strategies for those. When you say opening range, do you wait 5 minutes? Yes. Yeah. 5 minutes. You can also do the opening range breakout on the 15-minute chart. So let's do that. What was the, let's do 15-minute chart. Okay. Because some of you might prefer the 15-minute chart because it's slower. Sorry. What was the ticker, guys? Was it RTK? No, it was, I keep getting this one confused with Rocket. What was the ticker again, guys? I keep getting this one confused with Rocket, Roku. What was it again, guys? Comment and let me know. I forgot. I actually forgot. I don't want to go back on Twitter and look for it. What else? I think some people call a gap as anything above, below previous day close. Yeah, some people call that. But for me, Riot, there we go. For me, guys, I define my gap as gapping above the previous day's high or low. The reason why I do a gap like that is because I have back-tested data on that. Okay. So if we did the 15-minute chart, here's the 15-minute opening range breakout. You see, we could have still made money, right? We could have just done this. But the only downside to the 15-minute chart is that your risk to reward is usually going to be lower because the candle is going to be a lot bigger. So that's the only problem. But it gives you the benefit of having a full 15 minutes to take your trade. So you have a lot of time. When I first started trading, I started trading on the 15 because I wasn't comfortable going down to the 5. So that could be an option for you guys. All right, let's pick another one. Let's go back to Trading Wars. Let's pick another one together. Mara and Tesla. Let's do Mara and let's do Tesla together. Let's do Mara. Okay. So Mara is legitimately the same pattern, right? Here we go. Here's the previous day's high. See that? See how the first 5-minute candle, boom, breaks through the previous day's high? That's when I want to play this bar. Get it? Because I know that the shorts are trapped here. So this is the easy one, right? And then let's look at Tesla. So Tesla opening range breakout is not going to work, right? And did you notice I wouldn't use the opening range breakout on Tesla? Why? Because look, you see how Tesla is opening way below the previous day's high? So that's why I'm not interested in Tesla here. That's why I'm not going to take opening range breakout. But what pattern do you guys see? What's the other pattern that you guys see that we could play on Tesla? What do you guys see? What's the other setup? If we don't take the opening range breakout, that's fine. What else can we take? There's 2 more patterns. Tell me what you guys think. So see gap up, hold on here. Is that a pattern? These are, what are the setups that we can take? Inside bar, there we go. That's one. Hasham, good job. What else? There's one more. Gap fill, there we go. Okay. So let's look at this together. So we have 2 patterns. We have the gap fill and we have the inside bar. Okay. So let's do this together. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take Fibonacci. So this concept I go over in my book, guys, okay? And I go through in my seminars. We're going to take the Fibonacci from the high of the closing bar, and we're going to bring it up to the high of the first 5-minute bar. Do you see how perfect that is? Do you see that? You see why at the 382 we push up quickly? This is what we call algorithm buying. This is algorithm buying right here. So what you can do is once you see this big push and you see this hammer, this is your first attempt. So you're going to go long right here, stop right here. Okay? This is an algorithm. That's why we have this big wick. So what can we do here? We can go long right on this hammer bar. I'll put a stop here. That's part one. Okay, so let me move this over to the side. Okay, and then what do we have next? We have an inside bar at 950. So for Tesla, you see this gap? It's a gap up. So it means that there's bullish strength. Okay, so I'm not going to play this inside bar short because I know there's already bullish strength. So I'm going to take this first hammer, and then the second play that I can take is this hammer bar right here, like this. That's an inside hammer bar, okay? So now, let's just say we take it till the end of the day, both of them, okay? Take this one. Here is the end of the day. And then we take this one to the end of the day, okay? So I just want to show you guys hypothetically, okay? If you did that, obviously you want to scale out, but let's just talk about the possibilities. So you made 11R on the first trade, and you made another 12R on the second trade. So 11 plus 12, 23. Okay. So if you risked $1,000 on each one of these trades, you would have made $23,000 on Tesla today. Does that make sense, guys? Do you understand that, guys? Does that make sense? So if you risk $1,000 on that hammer and $1,000 on that inside bar, you would have made $23,000 today. So you made 23 times your money. So if you make 23 times your money, you're pretty much good for the month. You know what I mean? You're good for the month after that. You don't even have to trade after that. All right, so that's the setup. We had the first pullback to the fib. Then we had that inside bar. Very, very simple stuff. It's not complicated. Very, very simple. Watch the videos if you need help. All right, the YouTube videos are free. No charge. Don't use aftermarket or pre-market. No, I don't use those. I keep things simple. Once you start bringing in pre-market data, you're going to get a whole different picture. All right, so this is how you could have made $23,000 today on Tesla from using my inside bar scanner and just doing simple stuff, guys. Simple things, guys. Don't need to complicate it. And I want to tell you guys one thing. Do you guys notice how my trading is always in the morning? And like I'm pretty much done basically after the first hour. And then that's it. So I take the trades that I can in the first hour. And that's it. I'm not a slave to the chart. I'm not going to come back at 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, because I know the probability is going to go down of winning. It's going to go down. Right? So the next seminar, the last seminar I'm going to do is this Saturday and Sunday. All right. And it's 2 days. First day is going to be how to trade futures. Second day is going to be how to do this. Trade stocks using the scanner and everything. If you guys are interested in that, just send me a message. If not, I understand. Okay. I understand some of you you're in a different financial situation, etc. So then this is what I want you to do. I want you to go here, Trading Wars Scanner. Okay. And I want you to watch all of these videos, these free trading videos. And I want you to watch every one of them. And then I want you to write down your plan and which ones you're going to take and get it to like a formal business plan. Okay. And then once you have everything written down, which one you're going to trade, how much money you're going to risk per trade, all of that, I want you to do 100 trades. Okay. And then when you're done 100 trades, then I want you to evaluate it. I don't want you to quit halfway. I don't want you to give up. I want you to do 100. If you can come out on the other end doing 100 trades and you've made some money, you've beaten 95% of traders, and you can do this for a living. Okay. So do you buy regular shares? Yes. So guys, like you see how I'm showing it to you guys? Like, okay, yeah, the market is up and down, it's doing whatever, but there's still so many opportunities day trading. It's just like most of you are like, you're either following the wrong people or you don't have a plan. So I'm trying to help you with the plans and trying to give you some concepts like Fibonacci, inside bars, opening range breakout. Any one of those strategies that I'm telling you, if you use it in the right situation, can have anywhere between like a 40 to 70% win rate. It depends on the month. Some months are going to be really easy, some months are going to be tough. But we just saw together, as long as we have above 34% win rate, we're going to make money. To use these patterns on futures, do you use only RTH? Yes. For day trading futures, I use RTH. All I see is AMC and GME to the moon from other YouTube. Hey, Gonzi, I thank you so much for posting that comment, because I'm really disappointed with the community and I'm embarrassed that people are so willing to throw each other under the bus. Instead of actually putting out real content and trying to help people that are trying to do this for a living, most people want to see you fail. And they want to take your capital. They want you to pay for some plan. They want you to sign up for some Discord room where they don't actually teach you how to trade. All they do is pump things, and it's embarrassing. Really is. Because a lot of innocent people have lost a lot of money, and a lot of those people have come to me now and explained to me how much they've lost, and it's very sad. So I'm doing my part. Like I said the other day, guys, I'm doing my part. I'm doing $100 giveaway. I'm doing things, try to help the community, and I'm here. I'm one of the only guys that are talking here and giving free strategies and trying to help, because trading and all this, it's bigger than just making money. It's about helping the community. It's about helping each other. If everyone could help 5 or 10 people around them, imagine where this world would be. So that's what my purpose is, really, is to help you guys. When's the next book giveaway? I'm gonna give away a copy today. We have over 40 people. So I'm gonna give away a book copy today. Can you look at Visa's daily inside bar today? Look, lots of trap longs. Are you still in the trade? Thanks, Amanda. So Visa, we already scaled out of it. Right? We already hit our targets on Visa. So we got into Visa back here at 210.88. So Visa already went to almost 4 times our money. So let's say we risk $1,000, we already hit $3,400 in profit. So for me, I don't really care what happens with Visa anymore, because I already locked in 80% of my money. Now my stop losses break even on Visa. So even if it comes back down and it stops me out, I won't lose any money. I've already locked in my profits. So now I'm just gonna let it do whatever it wants to do, So let's look at the daily chart then. Yeah, so there was an inside day here. I really like these ones. See, I like these inside bars with wicks on the top, right? Let's go to 5-minute chart. So you see here, this was the wick on Visa. This was a double top. So imagine if Visa opens here tomorrow. Imagine if Visa opens all the way up here tomorrow. Imagine how powerful of a gap that would be, right? So I'm going to be looking for that tomorrow with Visa. Even if it opens near the high, if we can break through the high at any point, that would be a good set. Thanks for sharing that. Other inside bar suggestions: CDEV, DMTK. What are these stocks? Let's see what these stocks are. CDEV. So guys, when I scan the market for stocks, I have other criteria. So for example, you would never find me trading a stock at $4.50 because there's going to be too much manipulation, right? So this one, so like generally like these names, this is like biotech, right? Mostly. I don't really trade these because they're a little bit dangerous. And like, look at you see the 5-minute chart? You see how the volume is not, there's not a lot of volume. You see how it's choppy? There's not a lot of volume, so I'm not gonna play these. All right. So I only play the inside bars that fit my criteria. So I need a certain amount of volume. I need a certain share price. I need specific things. I won't trade these tickers because there's not enough volume and I don't want to be caught in some type of manipulation. I just showed you guys how you could make 23,000 trading Tesla. So why would you want to trade anything else? You know what I mean, guys? You don't need a lot of money to trade the bigger tickers. You don't, because you can use margin and you can do fractional shares. So I rather you put your money into blue chip than into biotech, just because it's more volatile, it's more dangerous. Opinion on Uber. Uber, I'm waiting for a swing trade on Uber. I have my orders ready. I'm just waiting to get filled on Uber. So I'm still bullish on Uber, just waiting for the executions. PepsiCo. So like I said, we took a swing trade in Coca-Cola, and I'm pretty sure these things move pretty much the same, Pepsi and Coca-Cola. So I'm pretty much in this already. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. What really caught my interest was, if we look at Coca-Cola, so that inside bar over here. So this is the trade that we took. It's a little bit red right now, but it's okay. You know, we still have a few more days left. But I saw this inside bar right here and this wick. So I was very, very interested in Coca-Cola. I understand your patterns, but my main issue is how to find the tickers to trade. Well, I post the tickers every day, right? Let's go back to, let's go here. See, these are the tickers. I post them every day for you guys. You know, they're right here. So what you got to do, you make a watch list. You see how I have watch lists? You make a watch list, and then at the open, okay, then you quickly sort through, and then you won't trade all of these, but you can maybe trade three or four of them, and you just do what I just showed you. Like, look for the ones that have big gaps, look for the ones that have the nice setups, and then just trade it from there. Because even though we have a big list, not all of them are going to gap. In your book, do you have the criteria to scan inside bars? No. My book is all about fibs. The inside bar training that I have is in my seminar, day 2. All right. So what else, guys? What else? So we talked about day trading. We talked about futures. We talked about the legs. We talked about the extensions. What else can we talk about today? What else is going through your mind? What else do you need help with? Look at this. See? Okay. So right now, what's happening in futures is because we hit that extension, right? Because we hit the 272 extension right there, we hit the 272 extension, and now the algos dumped their long positions, and now we're starting to sell off. Okay, so now we have to see in the morning, do we make another higher low? Do we make another higher? Do we start to turn around like this? If we start turning around like this by the morning, then we have a chance to break this last week's high, which can be very, very bullish. But if we start going lower, then we can just be stuck in this range. Okay. What option strikes and maturity do you find work best? Hey, Matthew, for me, I use shares. I don't use options because a lot of times with options, you will get trapped. So I prefer to use shares. There's no need to use options. The only time I use options is as a hedge. But if I were to do it, I would definitely get expiry. Like if you're doing a day trade with option, I would definitely get expiry like Friday. And the problem though is that usually like by time you get into an option, you're usually like the price is already too high. They're not priced efficiently. Stocks are always priced better. Can you drop the chart link, please? I'm new to Tradingview. What do you mean by that? Is there a way I can share this chart? Let's try this. Let me see if I can copy it. Paste it here. See if that works. Can I use these methods Forex? Yeah, you can. Inside bar is a pattern that works in everything. It works so well in Bitcoin now. Actually, let's look at Bitcoin. What's been going on with Bitcoin? Is the one here? I think so. Okay, let's look at Bitcoin. Look at this one. Look at that inside bar right here. Okay, inside bar, hammer bar, beautiful, long, boom, made money. This one right here made money. This one depends if you're going long or short, right? This one made money. You see, like, it's about 50% accurate. You can see it's about 50% accurate, right? So you can do inside bars on anything, because the inside bar, what it means is that the inside bar is just a period of consolidation in the market, okay? The inside bar means that we're just consolidating, and then usually after the consolidation, we have acceleration. So the inside bar works on everything. So you can use it on anything. What I would recommend is, if you want to use it in another market like Forex, just do a little back test, do a sample of 50, and just make sure that, you have the right parameters and everything. How do you know which IB to take? Yeah, so for me, like I showed you guys, I have like the way I do it in the swing trades, like for TD and all that. I look for specific criteria, right, for these ones. So we have an inside bar. I look at the trend. I look at the volume. I look at the candlestick wicks. I look at the Fibonacci. There's a few things that I look at when I say, okay, which way do I want to go? But the simple way is, like, if you don't want to complicate it and you just want to keep it simple, just wherever it breaks, you take it. If it breaks down, you go short. If it breaks up, you go long. That's it. That's the easy way. The chart link doesn't work. I'll try to figure out how to send you guys a chart. I'm not sure how to use it in Tradingview. I've never shared a chart before. Unless it's in here. If somebody knows how to share the chart, let me know. I'll share it with you guys. But I always post them in the on Twitter. How did it go up with the IB but red? Well, the direction that you play the inside bar depends. Like, remember this example we talked about today? So this inside bar here, how do you know which direction to play? Well, this inside bar is sitting on the 786 Fibonacci. So that gives me confidence that I want to go long. So that's why I play this one long. You see, guys? So it depends on, you have to have confluence, right? With the inside bar, you have to have a confluence. Hit the publish button. Okay. Okay, let's try that. Publish. What the hell is this? Test. Oh. Category. Trend analysis. Let's see what happens. Did it go? Did it post here? Oh, that's... Am I on Scanner Wars or Trading Wars? Oh, it did. Something happened. Here. Okay, so click on that, guys, and see if that works. Let me know if that works. I'm using my wife's account because she's a better trader than me. Let me know if that worked. All right, so we've been in here for about an hour and 30 minutes. And we had some fun. We talked about different day trading techniques. We talked about futures analysis. If you guys have any more questions that you want to talk about, let me know now. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up. So do you guys have anything going through your mind? Like, what's the biggest issues that you're facing? You know, we talked about how to put a stop loss. We talked about how to do targets. We talked about scaling out. I showed you guys in my book the different levels of scaling out and the win rates that you need. So I think that's pretty good basic knowledge there, right? That you guys need to be, you know, implementing. Always honor your stop loss, guys. If you get stopped out, you just try again the next day. Thanks for the stream. Lots of useful info. Thank you. Thank you. How do you trade shorts if it's not with options? You just short. You just sell. You sell the stock. A lot of valuable info today. Thank you. Thank you, Tosif. Thank you. I appreciate your comments. Thank you. How do you set a trailing stop in interactive brokers? So once you are in the trade, all you have to do is move your stop loss up manually, right? And then it becomes a trailing stop. Practice, practice, practice. Yep. Thanks for the help. Thank you. Thank you. All right. That's it for me, guys. I'm going to be picking someone from the chat today, and I'm going to be announcing the winner of the free copy of my book. And, you know, there's a few people on Twitter and there's a few people on YouTube that are like, they think like me in terms of risk first. So if you're ever following someone and they're not talking about risk, then you should run away, because trading is a job of risk management. All right. So let's focus on the risk. And then from there, everything else is going to be just simple. How to set up blue inside bar. So right here, I just change the color to blue. That's it. And then tweezer scanner right here, I just change the colors right here. You can put the colors whatever you want. All right. Okay, guys. Thank you. And enjoy. I hope like you guys got some confidence from this. You guys can do it, man. I'm telling you, like, so the example I showed on Tesla, right? Let's say you made, so you could have made 23 grand. Let's say you made 10 grand. So if you made 10 grand today trading Tesla, then all the other losers that you had, let's say at the beginning of the week, they're not going to matter. Okay. So trading is about, you keep trading, you take your good setups, and you know that one of them are going to be, you know, a good trade, a home run trade, and that's going to pay for your losers. All right. All right, guys. So, you know, so last thing, if you like what you see here and you're interested in my 2-day seminar thing, just send me a message. I still have some spots for this weekend. It's Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 3 p.m. And if you guys want to try out the swing room and see what's going on in there, you know, sign up on my website. Otherwise than that, guys, thank you for your time. I'll be trying to do more of these to just help you guys out as we go. And thanks for your time.